Hello, it is I, Ellen Atkin, MK Ultra Girl, on March 30th, 2022. So, first I'd like to recap. In 2014, I published my mother's story. In 2016, I publicly identified as MK Ultra Girl. In 2018, MK Ultra Girl and the Montreal Experiments case goes viral. It was concurrent. In 2019, the Montreal Experiments class action formed. My parents both went to the Allen Memorial, and I got their records in that process. I got them in 2019 or 2020. Anyway, so that was part of that. Unfortunately, the legal aspect has stalled because some people in the lawsuit had perception management issues because they wanted to steal the momentum and put it towards this lawsuit and themselves. So that action has actually served to halt the justice part of the thing, and the media just keeps spinning the same story over and over again with the same people. It's been 4 years now. Yeah, it's pretty sad, but unfortunately that's what's happened to them. And but I did get my parents' records, and then I just keep going because I had to write formal legal notices. It just echoes into out there, and people just go, oh yeah, that, yeah. Well, here I am to correct it all. Like, they're nowhere. They're perception management gatekeepers. Back to this. So in 2022, this year, the St. Thomas class action was formed. In fact, it was formed last year, very end. But it's recent. But we joined this year, me and my sister. She's been a victim of this program as well, being a first child born. I'm a year and a half behind her, so we're very close in age, and she has come to live with me next door as of last year. So I'm reversing the MK Ultra programming that was done to her, and it's going very well. So this is one of the things that I can do because I'm very adept at health and cleansing and deprogramming. And I've been doing it my whole life, but now I'm doing it on a psychospiritual level as well. Okay, so now I am looking to form a trauma-based mind control class action for the children. It needs to form. I mean, CIA even declassified that there was all kinds of other like every university hospital was doing this stuff in North America. These same experiments, similar, okay? Even worse, some are still doing them now. They label them like something, euthanasia for mentally ill people is great. All that kind of totally crazy stuff where all the money goes, and this is how people get paychecks. Like, that is still, that's the current version of the doctor eugenics mad scientist program that needs to be retooled on the most basic fundamental level of putting an education program together. It's not impossible. Anyway, okay, so here we are now. So here's my position. I want to ask a question. If you knew that your evidence was key to forming a class action for all children tortured by trauma-based mind control after all the events listed above occurred, would you not do everything in your power to help it form? I would. I am. Okay. So many of these victims and people have spoken up, but been rejected by mainstream media and alternative media. So don't let that happen. If we do not correct these crimes in our lifetimes, they will be allowed for future children. Why are the most vulnerable the least acknowledged and the least protected? Identifying as MK Ultra Girl in the image is key to forming this class action. I'm trying to find out if I really am that girl. That's what I'm doing in this campaign, okay? So it's working towards a biometric facial scan. Okay, so if I get the identity of that confirmed, then it'll help to form this class action. Okay, so please support the challenge. And there's also other living survivors with pictures of themselves online, and that's confirmed. I've spent the last 6 years working on that as well since that happened to me. So it's important for the other people that it happened to too, that I verify and get to know them, and I have in some cases. So without the will to prosecute these crimes on ourselves, what can we say about our future? Okay, so the Biometric Facial Scan Identity Challenge, it's about almost 6 months in. We're stuck at about $560, and I need 4,500 Canadian to get the verifiable evidence of the biometric facial scan. So I cooked up this challenge thing and challenged it to Clyde Lewis. Now, I did make contact with Clyde Lewis's team last week. Great, finally. And was able to write it out and receive, hopefully it's received. But I did speak to his producer. So there's, it's clarified that my message or my invitation to participate in the campaign has been received. All right, so we'll see if they're going to join in the campaign or take up the challenge. But I mean, I'm like, who wouldn't want to know? Everyone asked on the internet before I went public, and it's been the debate of like, it was really important to these people who were slandering me. Well, let's get this is the opportunity to prove it. All right, so it's not just me. If you want to prove that you're MK Ultra Girl, or if it's important that it's not me to you, then put your self pictures in, your friends, your whatever person you think it is. Okay, if you have other pictures of yourself or that other person, any time now, then that's the skill of the biometric facial scan. So I have about 4 or 5 in with them. I think they'll take up to about 10. So I'm going to include this in the challenge. Okay, so doesn't that sound like a good campaign to you? I think it is. Plus that I have an intention to open up another lawsuit. Right? I mean, they just keep happening. So, and it's good. I mean, the Montreal experiments turned to shit, but the St. Thomas class is good. They're the actual law firm that established precedent for this with their 20-year case for the Oak Ridge case. Won't go into it, but that's why we know we're going to win. Or that's why Montreal Experiments class and all the classes like this, sexual abuse, are basically going to win. It's not even sexual abuse. It is for psychiatric malfeasance. That's what Oak Ridge was. And so the precedent has been established in the courts. And it's pretty much, the spirit of the law translates across borders. All right, so it's the case. It's the people who are running the St. Thomas class action case, the law firm Roshan Genoa. They're the ones that did the Oak Ridge. Okay, so remember, I've got the MK Ultra Girl Remembers art series. One day I will be in the National Gallery of Canada. I actually am a real working professional photographer, except I'm semi-retired now. But yeah, for 20 years I basically bought and sold art, other people's art, my own, and the series I created, MK Ultra Girl Remembers, is it's really good. It's top quality, I'll tell you that much. But it's also, I don't really do concept pieces much. I'm more of an outdoor nature photographer and like scenic beauty stuff, like aerials, and people. I do that as well. And now, wait, another announcement. But I'm proud of the MK Ultra Girl Remember series, and when I do become an artist at the National Gallery, and I will, all my work's going to be worth a lot more money. So Just letting you know now. Okay. I use Patreon as a free blog, okay? So most of the posts are public. So instead of having a blog just to write, I just use a Patreon for that. And there is some protected content like the Survivor Summit playlist. We're talking about victims of MK Ultra that had to do with the Montreal experiments case, that somehow intersected with Montreal. And yeah, there's one of the survivors there is a childhood victim of trauma-based mind control as well. See how it's generational? Her mother went to the Allen Memorial, but she got traumatized in the States by the cult, the players, Jolie West, Joseph Mengele. These names and faces and people have come up in therapy for decades in circles of therapists that dared to deal with it, because I know a lot of them didn't. And I still don't know who they are or how to get a hold of them. Anyway, okay, so, oh yeah, and finally, I'd like to announce I'd like to welcome a new, like, social media site. It's TLB Talk. Okay, so I've been on it for a while. It's pretty good. I'm getting to get on it more. Of course, we need to populate it, but it's got all the bells and whistles, except it doesn't have video streaming. So it's important to join up for sure, because, of course, the more successful social media platform is, the more people are on it. Little blurb is the mission is to provide an open forum dedicated to liberty, freedom of speech, and the eradication of programmed ignorance. To that end, we will be working hard to ensure that we align our actions with that purpose. Okay, use your site. The use of the site is subjected to the community is subject to these community guidelines, our terms of service, and the privacy policy. So that's true of my site as well. Ideally, we would like to keep moderation and intervention to a minimum. Unfortunately, when it comes to social media platforms, it's necessary to consistently moderate in order to protect the community members from bots, trolls, shills, as well as other harmful activity, which is, anyone could be overtaken by the automatic bug response, as I have coined it. So guidelines are to treat others online as you would treat them in real life. That's huge. I mean, obviously, right? That's a huge thing. Like, if I could just ring that gong over the internet, it would change a lot. But it's a work in progress, right? We've all learned a lot. All right, good. That's enough for now.